would go ahead and continue on in to chapter 10 here with Joel S. Goldsmith's God, the Substance of All Form. And wanted to just let you all know that if you would like to contact me in my WhatsApp, um, feel free to do that. You can send me a text at it's JP Path of Awareness, but it's under my number is the uh, 986 And if you'd like to send me a message there, I'd be happy to. You have to get on, download WhatsApp, and just um, accept me as a friend of yours, and then you can directly send me a message and we can chat on there. I do have some great discussions with others in a group format sometimes, and sometimes many just one-on-one. So, and this is around the world. So if you have that access, I'd love to talk with you. So I appreciate you all so much, and especially all the new members. So if that's accessible for you, I'd love to chat. And I will continue here with chapter 10, Gaining the Consciousness of Good, by Joel S. Goldsmith here, God, the Substance of All Form. Consciousness is the real secret of the world. When you think you are searching for God, what you are really searching for is an understanding of consciousness, because consciousness is God. God is consciousness. These are interchangeable. Consciousness is God, and God is consciousness. When you have found the inner meaning of consciousness, you will have found God. When you find God, you will have discovered your own consciousness. You can now more nearly understand what I meant when I said, and have repeated several times, that the purpose of this work is not to give you more truths that you already know. I am sure that you already know all of the letter of truth there is to be known. It is so easily available, not only in my writings, but in many others. So I repeat, the purpose of this work is not to add one iota to your intellectual knowledge of truth, but to quicken the unfolding of consciousness, the unfolding of the divine consciousness as your individual consciousness. The key to what we call demonstration, that is, to a successful and happy life, a joyous and complete existence, is consciousness, gaining the consciousness of good in one form or another. If we were asked what the object of our work is, I suppose we might say, we are searching for God. To most people, God is a vague term. Would you know what to do with God after you found Him? Actually, if you were honest with yourselves, if we were honest with ourselves, we would say, I am seeking a sense of peace, a consciousness of harmony, a consciousness of health, a consciousness of the wholeness of being. We can sum that up too in the phrase, a consciousness of happiness. If we are happy, we have all these things, and our happiness is all inclusive. Someone has said that happiness is a butterfly, which when pursued is always just beyond your grasp, but which, if you will sit down quietly, may alight on you. If it is true that the kingdom of God is within you, happiness cannot be found outside. Happiness is that which flows from within your own being. So the state of consciousness which is always pursuing happiness must be given up. And the consciousness of sitting quietly and letting joy come must be attained. Happiness in this world, when it comes incidentally. Make it the object of pursuit, and it leads us a wild goose chase, and is never attained. Follow some other object, and very possibly we may find that we have caught happiness without dreaming of it. To attain happiness or peace, to attain peace of mind or a sense of wholeness and harmony means, first of all, to stop running around, stop trying to get something, and rather learn to sit quietly, to meditate, and to ponder within yourself the realities of being, and then let this happiness come. It has been said that happiness is a perfume you cannot pour on others without getting a few drops on yourself. So before this perfume of happiness can come to us, we have to begin pouring it upon others. And just to pause on that, I was just talking with one of our students that really we were so being conscious of the fact in our workplace, if we truly are going there to give, as I've experienced in so many cases, that you find a harmonious situation unfold with that, beyond your trying to get something, way beyond that. And it really allows for so much joy to come to you when you're fulfilling your customers' needs and seeing what you can give to your fellow associates and to your workmates and all that, even in your family or wherever. If you just go to give this truth and recognize that in your neighbor, that's your truly loving our neighbor as ourself, is to just go out and see it in everyone. See that happiness, see that joy. Give it, and that's casting our bread upon the water. And is what Jesus said when he told his disciples, when ye have done it unto the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me. So powerful. Joel continues here, nothing can be added to you. Nothing can be taken from you. All this goes back to the teaching of the Master. The kingdom of God is within you. It must well out from you. Nothing can be added to you. Nothing can be taken from you. You are eternally complete and whole. Whenever we attempt to meditate, let us remember this. There is nothing out there separate from us to be attained. We have only to gain the consciousness of that for which we are seeking, and we shall find that we have it. And let us never forget that in bringing about a sense of improvement in our affairs, we begin where we are at the moment. We do not dream about what will happen after we get more understanding, or after we have been another year on this path. For example, if the problem is one of health, we sit down and right where we begin to realize whatever truth we know about God and God's infinite spiritual creation. Right where we are. We do not wait until tomorrow. We do not wait until tomorrow. We do not wait until we know more truth, or until we are more spiritual, or until we are more deserving. We sit right down now and use the one grain of truth that we know. If we do not know more than a grain, we put that one grain to work. We take whatever of truth we have and utilize it. We sit down and ponder the truth of God, the wholeness of spiritual being, the nature of the spiritual universe, the truth that error is not power, disease is not power, sin is not power, and therefore cannot cause anything. That is the way we begin to build this new consciousness of the allness of God, which includes the allness of health, the allness of harmony, the allness of abundance, and the consequent nothingness of any power to obstruct the operation of this allness. If the problem is one of supply, we would immediately utilize all the truth that we know and put it into operation by doing whatever there is to do at the moment. It might be that we would have to begin with the most menial job in the world, but that would make no difference, even if we did not get paid for it. The thing to do is to get busy with it, knowing that little grain of truth and continuing in it. Thereby, you build a new consciousness of activity, of employment, of income, in fact, of everything there is. In the same way, if we want our bodies to be vital, if we want them to be useful and remain active with the passing of years, we do not accomplish this just by gaining a better body. Humanly, we can gain a better body. We can go to a gymnasium. We can take exercises. We can diet and build ourselves a good physical body. And we might even bring about a measure of longevity, adding 5, 10, or 15 years to our human span. But in spiritual work, that is not our aim. Our aim is to attain a spiritual sense of body, a spiritual consciousness of body. So that consciousness maintains the body, infinitely and eternally and harmoniously. Therefore, we have to gain a consciousness of immortality. We have to gain a consciousness of eternality. We have to gain a consciousness of bodily perfection. The secret of gaining health or of gaining supply is not in gaining health or in gaining supply, but rather in gaining the consciousness of health and the consciousness of supply. Your consciousness of truth becomes the substance of your demonstration. Do you realize how important consciousness is? To learn to change our consciousness is really and truly the purpose of our work, because whatever is discordant in our experience is but our erroneous consciousness of that which is appearing. And it is not going to do any good merely to achieve a better appearance. For example, if you are in a home you do not like, it will not be of any permanent value to you to get a better home. That is not the solution. The solution is to gain, first, a better consciousness of home. Then the better home will follow. The same principle applies if you are dissatisfied with your business, if you are dissatisfied with your practice or with your profession. You must gain a freer or better consciousness of that with which you are not satisfied before you can experience the desired good itself. Is that clear? You may as well begin right here and now by realizing that the secret of having anything is first attaining the consciousness of it. Why is that? Because consciousness is God. And the moment you have the consciousness of a thing, consciousness creates it, whatever the it may be. Home, companionship, supply, employment, health, eternality, immortality. Your consciousness of it builds it. With all thy getting, get understanding. With all thy getting, get a consciousness of good, and then the good will follow. As you gain the consciousness of anything, this consciousness produces it. Consciousness becomes the substance of your demonstration. If we should tell you that what you looked like and that what you were when you were born were the direct result of your own state of consciousness, you might think that that's incredible and that you had nothing to do with it. But that is only because you may believe that you began at the moment of your birth or a few months before. That is not true. You have coexisted with God since before Abraham was, and therefore the state of consciousness that you were prior to birth is the cause of what you were when you were born. In that same way, whatever state of consciousness you are now is the cause of what you now demonstrate. And the state of consciousness that you attain next year or 10 years from now will be the cause of the appearance of your body, of your business, of your home and home relationships, or of your national relationships. Do you really and truly believe that your own consciousness governs your life? Can anyone doubt it? The whole teaching of the infinite way is based on the premise that consciousness is God. And that consciousness, being universal consciousness, is your individual consciousness. From that standpoint, you should have a perfect body, a perfect business, a perfect home. As you yourself become more and more aware of the infinite nature of your own consciousness, the effect begins to appear in your experience in infinite form. The more the mesmeric suggestion or universal belief of a selfhood apart from God grips you, the more will your demonstration be governed by world consciousness. Instead of your own infinite consciousness, if there is a depression and you find yourself out of a job, you will have become the victim of a world belief, instead of demonstrating that world beliefs have no power over you, and that your consciousness of being is the law unto you. This in no way denies scriptural teaching. In Genesis, we were given dominion over everything in this universe, from under the sea to above the stars. And certainly the teaching of the Master does not make us the victim even of a tyrant or a dictator. His teaching was that nothing could in any wise have power over us, unless it came from the Father. But we must have the consciousness of that truth in order to demonstrate it. The fact that truth is true will not do the work. It is your consciousness of truth that does the work. That's the end of chapter 10. And as I had mentioned at the beginning, if any of you would like to message me, feel free. And again, you have to download WhatsApp. You can contact me. I'm in the Philippines currently, but I am from the U.S. and my number is originated there at a +1 is the country code, and then 986-860-1023, and it's JP Path of Awareness. So would look forward to chatting, meet some of the new followers out there. If you have a desire, send me a message and see if we can hook up there. All right, so much of this spirit acknowledgement. So wonderful in talking with many of you about it. And really it's about living this experience again, not just speaking the words, but working with those who are interested in living it and feeling this presence in your present day, now. So look forward to it. Many blessings. Talk to you on the next one.